Hello everyone and welcome back or welcome to a brand new video. If you're new here, my name is Matt and I love plants, as you can probably see by the arrangement of plants around me. And in today's video, we're gonna be taking care of all of these plants around me, and we're also gonna be discussing a very important topic, which is seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder. We're just gonna have a nice little chit chat. I would love to hear your opinions. Are you suffering from seasonal depression? It's definitely the time of year right now where I feel like we're all just a little bit down, a little bit sad. And first of all, I wanna normalize it because it is completely normal to feel down during this time of the year. And second of all, I want to talk about it. I want to open up the conversation. I want to share my experience and share my thoughts. And I would love if you did the same. If that sounds good to you, grab yourself a cozy little beverage, maybe do some plant chores of your own. And if you're doing some planty things alongside with me, let me know what they are in the comment section below. Again, I would love to know. And without further ado, let's get started. All of these plants live in front of my east-south facing window. The leaves are facing mostly the window. I obviously only see the back of the plants, and when I see the back of the plant, I don't know, I feel like I just don't pay attention that much, because obviously when I see a plant that's like eye level and I see it from the front, I notice issues like pests or if they're thirsty or browning a lot faster than I do when I'm just looking at the plant from the back, especially if they're like hidden by other plants. Girl, if plants are hidden by other plants, it's survival of the fittest. So these plants are all kind of facing the window, and I just want to look at them. Some of them we are going to be repotting, some of them we're going to be chopping, and some of them we're going to maybe pest treat. Well, we'll see what will happen. I am not completely sure. I know for a fact that I want to start with my El Choco Red. Now this plant, y'all, this plant is pissing me off. It is pissing me off. Why is it pissing me off? Well, it's a beautiful plant, obviously, but it loves to get crispy edges. It loves to impale its unfurling leaves. It loves to get stuck in its sheath while unfurling. It loves to get pests. It loves to get spider mites. It loves to get thrips. It loves to do this weird thing where it's kind of like the leaf is like domed. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just like, it's like what is this? What is this leaf? Basically, what I want to do with this plant is remove it from the pole and start it again in semi-hydro. And I actually do want to remove this plant from the pole. First of all, as you can maybe tell, she has a very short internodal spacing, so she's not really utilizing a pole. I've seen a lot of people grow their El Chocos to be gorgeous and beautiful without a pole, so I'm willing to give it a shot. Because I have a lot of plants on poles, it's time to downsize. It is time to downsize because I don't find, like, I like taking care of poles, like the maintenance of moss poles. I know for a lot of people, the maintenance of moss poles is a daunting task, and I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, my moss poles do dry out from time to time, but overall, I don't mind taking care of moss poles. However, the issue arises with space. I do not have space for all of these large plants on moss poles. Do I want all of my plants to mature and become huge and amazing looking? Yes, of course. But it's just the reality of it. We do keep these plants indoors, and indoors, like if you're not blessed with huge floor to ceiling windows, you just gotta make some sacrifices. And I am choosing to sacrifice this moss pole. We're gonna remove her from the moss pole. We're gonna take a top cutting and we're gonna be putting that one into semi-hydro, and then the rest of it I'll probably chop up into wet sticks. I know my friend actually had one of these and hers died, so I want to surprise her with a new little baby, but I do think I want to start from wet sticks because these leaves are kind of ugly. So we are going to be chopping some leaves, and if you are uncomfortable with leaf chopping, I'm warning you, it's gonna get chopped. A couple of months ago, I have wrapped this little node with some sphagnum and some cling wrap, just so I can get some more aerial roots. So when I transition it into semi-hydro, it's already gonna have some established roots. So I'm just gonna go ahead and unwrap this and see. Oh yeah, we have some gorgeous looking roots. Overall, this is definitely one of my favorite plants, and it was on my wish list for so long. And I wish I had like a nice healthy specimen, but unfortunately I do not. So let's go ahead and unpot it. Also, I have no idea what the root situation is in here like. I'm pretty sure, I suspect she is pretty rooted, and I mean, she has some healthy roots, but overall not the greatest, and not the worst. Not the worst, not the greatest. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove this soil. I'll probably, I don't know if I'll reuse this soil. This is my old custom soil mix that I was making myself, and I don't use that one anymore. I pretty much exclusively use Soil Ninja stuff nowadays, but hey, maybe it'll come in handy for like some outdoor plants or something like that. On to the topic of seasonal depression. Every single year, without fail, the moment that daylight savings hits, the moment that the days get shorter and cooler, my depression, she pops off. She hits hard and not soft. And that was a Billie Eilish reference if you didn't catch it. But yeah, she's here, and she's here to stay until probably like March or April. It's not fun, and my seasonal depression manifests in a lot of different ways. Primarily, it's a lack of energy. It's a lack of energy for me. I literally have no energy for anything, even tasks that I really love. Even tasks that I love, even things that I want to do, it's always such a battle to force myself to do them. Getting out of bed can be a challenge. Making food can be a challenge. Exercising for me is a big one during winter, because, you know, during summer or like pre-summer, I don't know, I feel like we're all just, you know, pumped to have our summer bodies, which definitely shouldn't be your main goal of motivation for working out. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I don't want a banging body. Obviously, everybody wants a banging body. I try to make my main motivation for working out my health and being physically able to do stuff, and actually being physically able to do stuff when I'm older. Ouch, I just pinched myself, god damn it. So that's kind of my primary motivation for working out. But during the winter time, it is so hard to find that motivation, because, you know, you just want to be cozy. You want to be wrapped up in a blanket. You don't want to be freaking on the cold floor doing sit-ups or whatever. It's hard to find the motivation for working out. Even just like working. I mean, luckily I work from home. So I have a remote position. I work from this studio, which is above it's like in the attic of my house. So I'm very lucky in that regard. But I remember back before COVID, when I actually had to travel to my office, and it was like an hour commute, and I had to actually, you know, stand outside in the cold, waiting for the frickin' train, and it was such a pain. It was not a fun time, and it's just hard to find the motivation when it's cold. And I mean, the days are so freaking short. I feel like I wake up and 5 minutes later it's already dark and the day is over. And then after work, it's already dark, right? And I want to do some of my own stuff. I want to be productive outside of my work. I want to maybe draw for myself, or I want to, I don't know, do planty stuff, or I want to work out or whatever, go for a walk, whatever. But it's already dark, and my body is already like, girl, it's sleepy time. It is hard and difficult to find the motivation in those times. Okay, so I just removed that plastic sheeting from the moss pole, and I think I'm gonna cut right here. We have some juicy roots up over here, and I think this is where I'm gonna cut. Also, this stem is she's pretty thick. So, oh, there we go. We did it. We cut her. Also, the philodendron smell with this one is, she is strong. This plant, its last leaf, as you can probably, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but this is the petiole of the last leaf. And the last leaf got impaled while it was in the sheath and trying to unfurl. So, and she has a new very juicy caterpillar going on, but I'm pretty sure that leaf will not come out like great looking because she will go through a shock and a transition. But she has a lot of freaking roots, a lot of freaking roots that I will probably be breaking. I'm gonna try and open the back of the moss pole. So basically, my seasonal depression just mostly manifests in me not having the energy to do anything. It also manifests with some pretty nasty self-doubt. You know, the funny thing is, actually, when I was a child, I used to be very much a winter kid. I loved winter. I did not like summer. Summer was my least favorite season, and I was always looking forward to winter. But that shifted into my adulthood when I started getting more depressive episodes, and I don't enjoy the cold months as much as I did. Now, of course, granted, back when I was a kid, we actually had like a proper winter where it was nice and snowy, and you know, it was wonderful. Nowadays, the winters are either I can't even talk. It's either extremely windy, it's either extremely cold or rainy, and it's never like the nice, winter wonderland with the snow and everything that we used to have. So I'm pretty sure that is also part of it. Also, another part why I don't like winter is the fog. Oh my god. So I live in a city that is in a valley, so it's like in the valley, and it is surrounded by 3 rivers. And let me freaking tell you, the fog we get over here, it's ridiculous. Like literally the whole day it'll just be fog, and those days are the worst. We had this week pretty much every single day was foggy, and finally today it is actually a little bit sunny, and I'm feeling so much better. And also, funny enough, I had so many migraines this week. I think I had like 5 migraines in total, or like 5 days of migraines, which is crazy. I usually get I do have chronic migraines and I do suffer with them, but I usually get one like every week or every other week. This whole shebang of 5 weeks or 5 days in a week was just, I did not like it. I did not like it at all. And if any of you suffer from migraines, you will know how horrible migraines are. They are one of the worst things ever. And for me personally, literally nothing works. No pill, no nothing. It's just, I just have to basically ride it out, wait for it to pass, and nothing else. Oh, that went flying. Nothing else can help my migraine, and it sucks. It's freaking sucks. It's one of the worst things in my life, and this week has been even harder because of those migraines. I like to, go for a walk when I have a migraine. That sometimes helps. But when it's cold outside, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside and go for a walk. Like, that's literally the last place I want to be. I want to be cozied up inside doing nothing, but I have to do work. I have to do all of this other stuff, and it is hard. It is very, very difficult. Oh God, okay, I'm wrestling these roots. I'm trying to save as many as possible, but obviously we will have some breakage, but I'm not too worried about it. What? Yeah, and it's just hard to live your everyday life when you just have no motivation, you have no willpower to do anything, you just want to lay in bed all day and do nothing, literally nothing, which is so sad because usually I'm not that kind of person. Usually I don't like to just loaf around and do nothing. I do like to be productive. I do like to, feel like I've done something in my day. But you just can't when you have those depressive episodes. There is nothing you can do about it. They're just there, and you just have to try and survive. Now, there are definitely things that I do that help me a lot. Jesus Christ, this root, it's crazy. Okay, I had to break it. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But yeah, there are definitely things that I do that help me immensely. And one of them is embracing cozy hobbies. I think I talked about this already on this channel, but I love to read. I love to bake. I love to draw. I love to write stuff. So basically, I just try to embrace those hobbies and try to do more of them. But during the wintertime, I definitely try and embrace the indoor hobbies and do more cozy stuff. I would love to get into hobbies like knitting, for example. I think knitting is a fabulous hobby. I just don't really, I don't know, I can't find the motivation for it, I suppose. But yeah, just embracing some kind of cozy hobby that really brings you joy is truly one of the most beautiful things you can do when you're feeling down in any time of the year, even if you have just general depression. I think just finding joy in silly little everyday activities, and they do not have to be something productive or goal-oriented or career-oriented or whatever. So often I feel like we're just so focused on the hustle and the careers and making something out of ourselves that we forget to enjoy just those silly little hobbies, just those silly little things that we love to do just because it's fun. It has no other purpose other than being fun and enjoyable. Alrighty, so I managed to wrestle out some roots, and they actually look pretty stinking good. So I think she will be fine, and these roots will go. This plant will go into semi-hydro. I do see some browning roots, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop these. So basically roots that have like a brown end that aren't looking healthy. Like you can tell these ones are kind of whitish and they're still growing, but these kind of brown, darker roots, I'm just gonna chop and see what they look like inside. If they have like healthy, nice tissue inside, then I won't cut them further. But like these dried up roots won't do the plant much good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove some of them. Unfortunately, for some reason, my specimen doesn't really have a lot of red on the back of the leaves, as you can tell. So I don't know, it's predominantly green, and it doesn't, I mean, maybe it is at like the mature size already, but I wouldn't say so, but who knows, really, who knows. So this one is completely dead, so I'm just gonna go ahead and prune it back. And also, do not be afraid. I could even chop off all of this, but I'm not going to. Do not be afraid to prune your roots. It'll be fine. Roots can grow back. Don't worry. Don't stress too much about it. If you see roots that just don't look healthy, it's more beneficial to actually just remove them and let the plant grow new roots. Long term, it'll be better for your plant. I mean, the same thing goes for like chopping leaves. I know so many people get really scared of chopping leaves and of doing stuff to their plants, but I say go for it. It's just it's a plant. It can recover. Plants are way more resilient than we give them credit for. So I say just chop away, hack away, experiment, have fun with your plants. Don't let the fear stop you, because fear is our greatest enemy. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove some of these old sheaths, because those will rot anyway in the semi-hydro, so I really don't want those. And now I don't know, I'm definitely gonna take off this leaf, because it's just looking mangled. And yes, I know it can help the plant photosynthesize and whatnot, but it will be fine. It will be fine. She will grow new leaves. Do not worry. And I would honestly even chop off these 2 leaves, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it as is. And yeah, another thing that has helped me immensely with seasonal depression is taking it slow and being kind to myself. Oh my God, I cannot tell you the years that I spend just being so hard on myself, just judging myself for literally everything, for not being productive enough, for not being good enough at my job, for not having a lot of friends, for not being a good partner, whatever. It's literally anything. I just learned that literally nothing good comes out of that mindset. And I am trying to seriously just be so much kinder to myself. Oh, that root system literally just fell off. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start this from wet sticks. We do have some leaves, but like these look so mangled and they have a lot of spider mite and thrips damage. So I'm just gonna boink it. Can I remove this a little bit more? No, I can't. Okay, Jesus, come on. There we go. And I am gonna be wet stick propping this and giving it to my friend. She will be very happy. And this is a pretty big chunk, so I expect the leaves from this to be actually also a pretty good size. I'm just gonna cut. So this was the part that I got the plant from, and then this is all like new growth. And I'm just gonna chop off this old bit, because it's just looking a little sus. Now this could probably produce another planty, but I have plenty. Another planty, and I have plenty of stem over here, so I don't want to use that old one. And I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up, get it into my prop box, and hopefully it'll be fine. I mean, if it doesn't turn out, I still have plenty of stem over here, so I can always restart it. And honestly, even if this plant, I bought this plant when it wasn't at the height of its price, but it was still a little bit pricey. But nowadays you can get these for $20? They're so cheap and accessible. Which is not to say that I support the overconsumption of plants and that I think you should just throw out the plant and buy a new one. That is not what I'm saying. You should definitely, try to keep and save the plants that you have. Now, of course, you don't. Now this, oh my God, this is a thing. I'm getting heated now. I feel like people take the whole plant thing and saving every propagation way too seriously. It is fine to throw out chunks. It's fine to throw out wet sticks or leaves or whatever. You don't need to propagate every single plant, and you shouldn't propagate every single plant because that is a lot of work and you will burn yourself out. So please, don't feel guilty about throwing a plant away. Maybe a plant isn't bringing you joy at this current time, but maybe in the future it could bring you joy again, and it's fine to then rebuy a plant. But I went off on a tangent there. But all that to say that you should just do whatever you want in this plant hobby. And what I'm gonna do is chop up this chunk, probably into two. I'm thinking into two pieces, and then there we go. Two little pieces. I'm gonna put them in my prop box, and then I will have like an insurance cutting, and I will have a little piece for my friend, which she will be very, very happy about. So I'm just gonna put those to the side and let those callus over. Now we do have quite a bit of a mess here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and try and remove some of these roots from this moss, and I will be definitely reusing the moss in here. That's definitely gonna be reused, because I don't feel the need to throw away moss because it can be reused. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse that. And then the soil, I have to like sift through all of these roots, see what's viable and what's not. Also, I do have like a little trash pile in front of me, just so you know, I'm not just like throwing everything on the floor. But yeah, this was a lot. This took a lot longer than I expected it to take. But we're gonna be moving her into semi-hydro, and I hope she will be happy. I saw plants with Melissa. She has a El Choco in Pawn, and hers is beautiful, and she always bangs on about how she really likes growing her more difficult philodendrons in semi-hydro. So I am willing to give it a try, because the El Choco, again, is just a plant that I really love, but I have been struggling with. So I am willing to give it a try in semi-hydro. Actually, gonna just remove some of this. Did it callus over? Okay, it's still a little bit wet, so I'm just actually gonna wait a little bit more for it to callus over, so I'm gonna leave that to the side. Let's move on to the next plant, which is my Hoya Australis Lisa. I couldn't remember the name. And this one, I don't want to do too much to it. I basically just want to re-trellis it. I think I'm gonna remove one of these trellises because I don't think she needs them. She did have a vine growing up here, but that one kind of died, so I just want to re-trellis her, get her in a better situation. Also, check her out, because I have not been checking her for pests in a long time, and she does, surprisingly enough, she likes to get thrips, and I am always so fascinated when my Hoyas get thrips, because it's like, what are you doing? Like, sir, why are you attacking my Hoyas? They are thick-leaved. What are you trying to do here? But from what I can tell, she looks pretty good. So we're good. Oh, look at that. She has a cute little ditty little leafling. I'm just gonna cut off some of these dead parts at the bottom. All of these kind of chatty videos, I don't have a script for. I want my videos. I want you guys to put on these videos in the background while you're doing your own chores, and just listen to me blabber and be like, yeah, girl, that's right, girl. And I just want this to be a very much kind of, we're friends, we're hanging out, I am telling you my shit, and it's just a fun time. That's what I really want. That's the kind of spirit and vibe I want these videos to have, and I hope that I am achieving that. Alrighty, so I have two of these, what are they called? Acrylic little trellises. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them like so, okay. And then trellis this diva up. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap her around, and I need some like bigger trellises for my Hoyas, because these are like the biggest size that I have out of these acrylic ones, and they're still so small. Like, they're still not big enough. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use dragonfly clip, hopefully, to secure this. There we go. Gorgeous. Gorgina. Being kind to myself and not judging myself for everything and allowing myself to actually have that rest period. You know, actually plants are a great metaphor because during winter they go mostly into dormancy. I have this one vine. Jesus, why can't I speak? I have this one vine that is kind of going to the side, so I think I'm gonna chop that and propagate it because, yeah, see, I can propagate that, put it in some water, maybe also give it to my friend. She does like Hoyas as well, so yeah, I'll propagate it for her, and if she wants it, she wants it, and if she doesn't, I can just plop it back in the mother plant, so it's not a problema if she doesn't want it. But yes, there we go. She is pretty much done. I just wanted to re-trellis her and remove one of the trellises because, again, I don't think she needs both of them. And she is done. This was a very, very easy project. I love a fun, easy project. What am I gonna do next? Let's do you. Oh, Jesus, I fell. I don't want to get up. Let's do my Manjula puffles. My Manjula. And this girlie is gorgeous, stunning, beautiful. I absolutely love her, but she does have some leaves, so I just want to remove those, get her a little bit cleaned up. This plant is literally in front of a window, and then there is a so I see the back of her, and then there is like a little console table in front of that, so I basically don't pay attention to her at all, but it's one of my hardiest, best growers, and I love her so dearly. I love her so dearly. And of course, she is actually getting like a little bit, I don't know, she's kind of stagnating with the size of her leaves, but we are in winter and she solely depends on what's it called, on natural light. So obviously I don't expect her to like explode with growth because it is winter and it is foggy over here most of the time. So yeah, of course she won't have the best growth. I'm just checking if she has any pests. I don't think this plant ever even had pests. I do see some webbing, but I don't think it's spider meats, or is could be spider meats. Could be spider meats actually, now that I'm looking at it. I am not 100% sure. She does need, I mean, she doesn't need it, but maybe she could use a drink. Maybe I could just shower her. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take her downstairs and shower her after this, just because I haven't done that in a while. And her roots, you know, I do see some rotten roots, but I also do see some healthy roots. So yeah, I'm just gonna put her back, give her a shower later, and that's that for this one. Next up, we have my Ficus taniki, and this one actually lived outside for the, like, I put it outside late summer, which was a mistake. I should have put it earlier in the season, but oh well. I did put out some of my plants the year before last year or this year outside during the summer, and I don't know, I found the process very stressful. I found the process of putting them back very stressful, and some of them burned, some of them didn't do well. So I decided that this next year I'm only gonna put out my ficus outside, because those, first of all, I just don't have a lot of space for them inside, and I do want them to like grow nice and big. So yeah, my ficuses, I have a ficus like the regular Elastica, the Taniki, the Shiveriana, and the Fiddle Leaf. Those are all gonna go outside during the summertime. But look at the freaking root system. Look at the freaking root system on this girl. This is all while she was living outside. It is insanity. And I should definitely repot her, but I don't feel like doing that, and so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna repot her during the growing season, because again, I just want to put her outside, but she does have yellowing leaves, so I just want to take that off and kind of take a look at her if she has spider mitos, because she loves to get spider mites, but luckily I'm not seeing anything. Luckily I'm not seeing anything, which is great. This is beautiful. This is what I like to see. Clean leaves, no pests, no pests. Lovely, lovely gal. So another easy one. I told you, some of these are just gonna be easy checkovers. Now, one that I don't know what to do with this, y'all. Oh, Jesus Christ, come on, get out of here. I don't know what to do with this. This is my Philodendron hastatum silver sword, and it is one of my favorite philodendrons. But it's the philodendron that just gives me so much trouble. It always has strips. It always does the Cinderella foot thing. It like always has a hard time emerging from the thingy, freaking sheath, whatever. Like, look at this nonsense. Look at this freaking nonsense. And I just don't know what to do with this plant. And I think that I'm gonna move it to semi-hydro. I was thinking of maybe holding off on doing that and do it in the summertime, but I think I'm gonna do it right now. So yeah, also I do want to put this on a different moss pole. Oh my god, I don't know, what would you guys do? Should I maybe just chop it and start it fresh? Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe just put it in some water. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm so indecisive because it's just ugly. It's just ugly, and I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to like build a new moss pole for it right now. So you know what? I think I'm gonna take cuttings, put them in water, and then move it to semi-hydro and put a new moss pole once there are some new roots in here. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because this setup is it's just not working for me. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just it's not working for me, so I'm just gonna chop it. And I already did actually chop this plant once, so this is kind of already a restarted attempt, but I guess I'll start again. Also, this one loves to get thrips. She absolutely loves to get thrips. So we have one cutting. Oh god, I'm not sure about this one, y'all. This one might not be a great success, but we'll see. She's not even really rooted into the pole, which is kind of unexpected considering how long she has been on this pole. And yeah, luckily at least I don't see any thrips. So I guess that's good, because seriously, she always has strips. But I'm not seeing any on her right now. But like, look at this. This is just, it's so freaking sad. It's just so freaking sad, but I'm just gonna put her on a moss pole or in water, try to root her in semi-hydro, and yeah, we'll just see from there, because I just don't want to keep this as is, because if I keep it as is, I will just keep neglecting this plant and ignoring it, and I really love this plant so much, and I want it to do better. So yeah, we're gonna put these cuttings into water later on, and then this I'm gonna get rid of, or like disassemble later on. So yeah, there's that one. Next up on the agenda, we have my Ficus shiveriana, and this one also often has pests. She often has thrips, she has spider mites, She just loves to get pests, but I'm not seeing, oh, my nose itches. I'm not seeing any right now, which is great. Yeah, I'm not seeing any pests. Oh, never mind. I see some thripsises. I see some thrippies. Yep, they're moving. They are moving, and you know what? I'm not gonna even dilly-dally. I'm just gonna remove this leaf. You're probably not gonna be able to see them, but they're right here where my fingers at. They are very tiny, moving, and yeah, oh shit, it's squirted all over me. Freaking ficuses and freaking Hoyas with their juices, with their wet ass. But luckily, oh, I see another thripsis. God damn it, but it's just the one, so that one I'm just gonna take off. Oh god, I don't like pests. Why do we have to deal with this bullshit? But this is a great reminder. To anybody out there to not panic when you get pests. It's fine. It's just part of this hobby. Like, you see, this plant is thrips. It's still fine. It's still all right. It's still looking good. So don't worry if you see a thrips. It's not gonna kill your whole collection. It's not gonna like ruin everything. You remove the affected leaf if you can. You get rid of it. You treat the plant, and you just keep a watchful eye out on your plants, and that's it. Like, just pests come with this hobby, and you just have to accept it. You have to accept that pests come with this hobby. They're a part of it. Unfortunately, nobody likes them. Trust me, nobody likes them, but it just is what it is, and it is one of those things that we have to deal with in this indoor house plant hobby. But just be kind to yourself. It doesn't mean you're a bad plant parent. It doesn't mean that you should like get rid of all your plants, unless it's obviously just stressing you the hell out. Then obviously, by all means, get rid of the suckers. But in most cases, pests they're just natural. You will find them in nature as well. And they're just a living being trying to survive. It's in their instincts to feed off of our plants, just like we need to eat the same way they need to eat. And it sucks that our plants are their victims, but unfortunately it just is what it is. So please don't worry about pests. I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly actually treat this off camera and get rid of that nasty leaf, and I will be right back. I don't think you'll be able to see them, but they're crawling like in this little area. They're so hard to spot sometimes, but you can see some of the damage, like the red spottiness. That is pretty common thripy damage, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Back on the topic of seasonal depression, another thing that I find extremely helpful is journaling and meditating and yoga and all of those kind of wellness things. I think they are extremely beneficial. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, it'll change your life, it's amazing, it's so easy to do. It's not. Forcing yourself to meditate even for 10 minutes is freaking difficult, okay? Let's not pretend like it's an easy task, because it's not. And yes, it can be a habit like any other. I know so many people just say like, oh, you should just like do it for, I don't know, however many months, 2 months, and then it'll stick and it'll become a habit. Yes and no. Sometimes it does, sometimes it does not. Like, I had periods where I did yoga, for example. I love to do yoga. I used to do yoga for like, I don't know, 8 months in a row. And then all of a sudden I would just lose interest and I would stop. And that is completely normal. However, if you can keep doing those things while you're going through this seasonal depression, it will definitely help you out. I particularly like to journal, and because it lets me express myself in a way that I can't otherwise, and it kind of allows me to see things more objectively and through a different perspective. Because when I write it down, I can kind of analyze my thoughts and my feelings a lot better, and I can actually kind of see even patterns, and just it really helps in getting to the root of your issues. So I would recommend definitely journaling. Again, meditating is great, yoga is great. If you can, go for walks. Walks are great. Listening to like music. I love music. I love podcasts. All of those things definitely help me through hard times. So all of those things are greatly recommended. I was just looking over my Enjoy Pothos. She's one of my favorite plants. I absolutely love her. And luckily, no issues with her, so I'm just gonna plop her back. Basically, just being kind to yourself, allowing yourself the time off. Basically, you just wanna kind of rest. And I mean, look at our plants. They go into dormancy, and they need that period of rest. It does them good, because then come spring they will grow vigorously again. And I kind of try to think of myself in that way. Like, I need this rest period because I can't always be the most productive, most successful version of myself. So I need rest. And to me, this winter season is kind of like a resting period. This is my Gloriosum, and I'm just looking at her closely because she likes to get, guess what? Thrips. She is a thrips magnet, just like any other freaking philodendron. And she is also a spider mite magnet, and I think I see some spider mites. I'm not sure. I saw like one little red speck, so I'm like, is it spider mites? Is it not spider mites? But good thing is I'm not seeing thripses, which is good because hate those buggers so much. But luckily I'm not seeing anything really, so this is wonderful news. I do think I want to actually treat her just preventively, just in case, because this is a plant that likes to get pests. So I would rather stop, or like I would rather treat preventively and hopefully get rid of anything than wait and it becoming an issue. But luckily I'm really not seeing anything, so I'm not gonna do anything to her. I'm just gonna show her to you and let you guys admire her, because she is truly such a beautiful plant. She is heavy as all heckles. She's heavy as all heckle doodles. So I only have basically one more plant to check over, and it is my philodendron soderoy, another one that loves to get thrips because it's a philodendron. And we moved this plant into semi-hydro some time ago, and she's doing pretty good in semi-hydro. I am seeing some new roots. I am seeing some new gorgeous roots. I don't know if you saw those. She also has some roots in the pole, so that is wonderful. And she actually pushed out recently this new leaf. Now, of course, it's the first leaf since we moved her to semi-hydro, so I was not expecting this leaf to be big or anything. As long as she is healthy, I am completely fine with that. Again, I'm just gonna go ahead and check over if she has any issues. This is once again Thrips freaking magnet, and she was actually next to that Shiveriana, so just making sure. She does have some extra floral nectaries, which, if you don't know, extra floral nectaries are those little like crystally sugary bits on your leaves, and philodendrons love to produce those. They basically attract ants and help them in the wild to protect them against, you know, pests and other issues. Luckily, I'm not really seeing anything. Now, this leaf over here is a little sus. It has a little bit of damage, but I'm not actually seeing anything, so that could be just old damage. And so far, so good. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually expecting these plants all to be riddled with some kind of pest, because I was ignoring them quite a bit. Or like not ignoring them. I mean, I was watering them and taking care of them, but I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't doing this. I wasn't like doing thorough pest checkings, but she is clear. She is in the clear. So let's move on to the last task, which is actually the first task, which is potting up my El Choco. I feel like this calloused over enough so that I can actually pot it. So I'm just gonna put some of these roots inside. The roots do feel a little bit dry, so I do expect these roots to eventually die off, but as long as she gets new roots in the semi-hydro, I am completely fine with that, and I will definitely keep you up to date. I am very curious how this plant will do. Firstly, I'm curious how it will do in semi-hydro, and second of all, I'm curious how it will do without a moss pole. Like, if it can keep this size that it's at right now, I'd be honestly happy. Like, it doesn't need to grow like huge. I'd be happy with this size, or it keeping this size as well, but you know, only time will tell, so I will keep you definitely updated though. But before we go, I do want to also check out this plant, because this is another one that likes to get thrips. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look her over. And I think my closing notes when it comes to seasonal depression is just give yourself the grace to take it slow, to not rush things, to not hustle, to not beat yourself up over, you know, not being 100% yourself or 100% your best. This too shall pass. And soon enough, in a couple of months, we will be out of this mess and we will be in springtime. It's gonna be gorgeous, it's gonna be warm, it's gonna be summery, and it's gonna be lovely. So I'm not seeing any thripsis on her, which is extremely surprising, but there you go. I will definitely keep you up to date. I will put up my silver sword cuttings in some water and hope they root, and then in another video we'll definitely be potting these up. But I would say that's it for today's video. I'm sorry if it was a little bit jumbly-mumbly all over the place. Like I said, I do not script these things. I just wanna talk, and yeah, talk I did a lot. I think this video is like over a freaking hour long, which is crazy. But I do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any thoughts, like if you're going through seasonal depression, how are you dealing with it? Maybe you have some tips that I didn't mention. Maybe you have some other thoughts and opinions that I didn't talk about. I would really love to know your experiences, basically, like I said in the beginning of the video. I believe that is it. I do encourage you to just be gentle to yourself, be kind to yourself, and I appreciate you, and I hope and wish for the best for you, and I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely, wonderful day, and until then, goodbye!